Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here and welcome back to the railway and welcome back to another review. Again, I've been super excited about this one. It's a bit daft really, isn't it, getting so excited over these things. But yeah, I've had this one for a while and I've been wanting to review it for ages, but I didn't want to do it too soon after I'd looked at the blue version. But yeah, this is the Caledonian single wheeler 123, whatever you want to call it, in the LMS livery, this sort of Hornby special edition. And yeah, the Caledonian single was actually a unique locomotive which was built in 1886 by Nielsen and Company, and I found out that apparently it was designed by Dougall Drummond, which is quite interesting, for the Caledonian Railway. And she actually ran, as you probably know, on a single set of driving wheels which are absolutely huge. They had a diameter of about 7 feet. Which made her capable of actually really pretty high speeds. I think she was capable of up to about 60 miles an hour. And of course 60 miles an hour today doesn't sound all that impressive, but I'm sure in the 1880s it would have been super amazing to go at such a speed in any vehicle, let alone a big hunk of metal on tracks. So it was very impressive, and in 1923 the locomotive was absorbed into the LMS, where she served there as a 1P passenger locomotive painted into the LMS maroon livery. And she was eventually retired from service in the 1970s after being preserved, and apparently she now lives as a static display in a museum. I think that museum is the Glasgow Riverside Museum, which is quite nice. So you can see it, but you won't be able to see it running at the moment, as far as I know. But yeah, here's today's review then. As you can see, it's in this sort of special edition box, and there's a little close-up of the front of the box for you there. It's just got a little bit of history on it and whatnot. And if you look on the front of the box there, you can see it's just more of the same artwork really. It doesn't give you a lot of information, just ex-Caledonian there, and Hornby Railways of course. But the real gimmick with this one is you can open the front. And that's really nice because of course you can see the logo. And you've also got this little piece of history here, so do feel free to pause that if you want to. I think it's one of the first versions that Hornby did that actually showed you some information on the logo, which is quite nice. And of course you've got a photo there as well, but it isn't of the real logo. I think that just looks like the model to me. But still very nice nonetheless. And then of course you can see, well, you might not be able to see all that well, through the plastic there you can see the logo done out in the lovely LMS maroon livery, as well as the tender there with the running number on it, which is 14010. And I also quite like the fact that you've got this little representation, pretty big one, of the LMS logo, which is really nice. I do like to see that. So yeah, let's try and get this out then, because as you see the box doesn't really show you too much about her apart from this little bit of info. So yeah, let's get this one out and we'll see what it's like. So I'll just flip that shut and we'll grab the end of the box here. And you don't get a lot with this one. I'll show you in a sec. Come on, out you get. Right, well, first thing you get is this piece of cardboard, so that's really all that is, and you get this yellow thing, which again doesn't have anything on it except for the LMS symbol there. But yeah, that's all you get really. It's pretty bare bones. You probably would have got some instructions or something back in the day, sorry, but I didn't get any with this one, unfortunately. So yeah, let's take a look at the loco first then. There she is. Of course she's a 422 locomotive, which is quite an unusual configuration, but I think she looks absolutely fantastic in this livery. And I'll get you the other livery version out later on. But let's have a look at the tender very quickly, which is just so well painted up. I'll give you a closer look at all this later on. Oh, she's stuck. There we go. And there you have it, beautifully painted, I really do think so. And yeah, let's put this up onto the white background then. There they are together. And I will show you her in a little bit more detail. Obviously not too much because I've already shown you the blue one in considerable detail. But yeah, we'll have a close look at this and we'll see what you make of her. So yeah, let's get on with that. So there she is then, the really, really beautiful Caledonian 123, as she would have looked in the 1920s. And I really think this livery is super smart. I don't know whether I prefer it to the blue one. You guys let me know, there's a little pop-up there. You can tell me which one you prefer, if you've seen it. If you haven't seen the blue one yet, she's coming out later in the video, so you can see her. But yeah, the livery is super smart, isn't it? Of course it's in this lovely maroon, but it's all lined with these sort of, is it a yellow or golden stripe? Looks really nice. First of all, let's take a close look at the side of the cab, because you can see that LMS symbol is printed onto there. It looks quite finely done, which is really, really lovely. And of course it has got the yellow outline around it, which looks great. And above the, well, on the main wheel arch there for the driving wheel, there's another badge. I don't know if that's supposed to say something. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be, but it is just a gold egg on the side there. So, but that is, it looks alright, you know. It's also lined with that sort of yellow and black stripe, which is fair enough. But yeah, I'm not too sure what that's supposed to be. And then last of all, you've got this lovely stripe which goes all the way along the loco across to the tender, which is something the LMS seem to do quite a bit, and I really do like it, I must admit. The thing is quite well detailed as well. I believe, well, I assume the detail will be the same as on the blue version, the royal blue version. There's plenty of moulded detail. As you can see, there's bits of pipe work, little bits of plumbing there, and there's also a separately fitted whistle on the top there, which looks fairly nice. And if we look round the front there, as you can see on the smoke box door, you've also got the running number there, 14010, and there's also that little star, which confused me a lot last time. But yeah, fair enough. If we take a quick look inside the cab then, you can see that there is a little bit of cab detail there. It's not massively complex, and it's certainly not painted, but that's fairly normal. But what I do like, and I think I pulled this up on the blue one as well, is that sort of metalwork. Well, it's like a handrail, isn't it, on the on each side of the cab, which just adds a little bit of a different texture to it, and it just makes it look that little bit more realistic, which I really like. But yeah, a very smart engine. I really do like this one. It's very simple, don't get me wrong, but I think it looks extremely smart. Let's have a quick look at the tender then, because I think actually the tender might even be more detailed. First of all, it's in that beautiful maroon livery again, and the running number 14010 is really nicely applied, and that too is sort of outlined with this yellow and black stripe, which is fairly consistent throughout. And the thing I really like about this is the undercarriage, and as you can see, the springs and the suspension and whatnot is all done in that sort of black paint, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. I love it when they do that, I really do. And on the back there's a little toolbox which has been moulded on, which is quite nice, and I know the blue one had that, I remember talking about that. But yeah, a fairly detailed little tender there. And together with the logo, I think it's a really smart combination, and it's just elegant, isn't it? It really is nice. So yeah, that's just a very quick look. I haven't dwelled too long on this because I think you can see for yourself the detail, because it is fairly simple, but still, let's see how she runs then, shall we? Let's give her a little bit of testing on the line, and we'll see what she can pull. Alright, let's give that a go. So there she is then, the beautiful single wheeler, looking absolutely gorgeous on the tracks there, and she'll be up and running in just a second, but first I'll show you what she'll be pulling. She's got 3 ex-Caledonian coaches in the LMS livery, of course. Now I did have 4 of these, as you might remember, but unfortunately she will only pull 3, it would seem. So yeah, she's just going to be pulling 3 of those. And on the other track, as you can see, I've got the royal blue version in the Caledonian livery, of course. Same engine, but older. And yep, she's pulling 2 Caledonian coaches. So again, they're the same coaches, they're just in the sort of red and cream Caledonian livery. And again, I've got 4 of those too, but sadly she will only pull 2 of them. But that's because she goes up a slightly steeper hill going round that direction. So, yeah, never mind. But yeah, let's give this, the maroon version, the LMS version, a little bit of slow performance test. And that's something, as we know, doesn't really agree with them. But yeah, we'll give it a try. We'll see what she'll do. I'll do my best to keep it smooth. And yeah, we'll see whatever she does. So here we go. As you can see, it is quite good at slow speeds, but it doesn't sound all that happy about it. And as you'll see, this back wheel doesn't go round because there isn't a lot of weight on it. Oops. There you go. So yeah, not terrible by any means, but certainly not by modern standards a good smooth runner at slow speeds. Nonetheless, she's pretty good when she gets up to speed. Anyway, let's couple up to those coaches then, see how she gets on. There we go, a little bit jerky there, and she seems to have left the shot completely, but there you go, there she is then. I think the passengers, again, for the second video in a row, are not feeling too well after that coupling, but nonetheless, we will pay them back with a little bit of a ride. So here we go, here's the LMS version then. It's going to be a bit of wheel slip, but not too bad. There she goes. And let's get the blue version up and running then. This one really is lovely. Oh, no, she's going backwards. There we go. Alright, and let's watch them run, shall we? Just a blur. I'll have to slow her down a little bit. Okay, so now for my ratings then for the LMS version of the Caledonian single. First of all, detail. The detail's alright, but you know, by the 1980s this was a very, very old model. And to say it came out with the same detail really that it had in the 60s, you know, maybe they should have upgraded it somewhat, but certainly the detail is not bad. Performance again, 7 out of 10. It's not a bad performer. But they do they're a bit fast and furious, aren't they? And they certainly can't pull a lot of coaches. Not that they would have done in real life either, but you know, the performance on the model I think suffers a little bit just due to the size. Character, 9 out of 10. They really have fantastic character. I absolutely love them. For reasons that should be pretty obvious, to be honest. I mean, they're just gorgeous little things, aren't they? So yeah, full of character. Build quality, as always with the sort of Triangle or Hornby stuff. Fantastic build quality, 10 out of 10 there, and I paid I think just less than £50 for this one, and to say it was boxed and in mint condition, I thought that was a fantastic bargain, so 9 out of 10 there, which gives us overall 8 out of 10, a really, really cute locomotive, perhaps a little bit dated, even for the time it came out, but I certainly love it. I think it's a fantastic looking little engine. So yeah, enjoy them for a little bit longer, and then we'll call it a day. As you can see, they're super duper little runners. They're not too keen on running slowly, it's either all or nothing really, but still not too bad as long as they don't derail, which none of them have yet. And now I've said that, they almost certainly will. It is actually very, very enjoyable though, running these. I don't know why. It's just good fun really, you know. What they're meant for really, I suppose. Yeah, lovely, aren't they? I love them. Alright then everybody, well that should just about do it for today. Thank you very much to all of you who've watched it. And if you did enjoy the video, please don't hesitate to like or even comment on it, because I love it when you get in touch. But yeah, you can also check out the Facebook or Twitter pages if you wanted to, and they're at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. I do always update those, and it would be great to see you on there. But for now, once again, a massive thank you to you all for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers everybody.